All right, to address this comment here. Yeah, I didn't plan on it either, but I had these in my archives too. There were certain things that have some key facts for particular research on stuff that I do. Even though you don't indicate that you necessarily put the particular author on a pedestal or worship them and consider everything they say as fact, right? This is stuff that before they get their whole channels got scrubbed off the internet for whatever reason. I regard this story of your enslavement, both the videos, I think other people had them re-uploaded anyway. My purpose was mostly, a little bit of research. It's kind of like this. How you remember if you watched, I don't know if a lot of you guys watched like old vintage comedians, both black and white comedians. Well, the late George Carlin once said in one of his videos, as a matter of fact, you can look up George Carlin clips on here, which is wonderful. You don't got to worry about them being scrubbed off the internet for particular research. And he quoted it. Uh, People want obedient workers, strong and smart enough to run the machinery and do the paperwork, and stupid and submissive and passive enough to passively accept everything, every other bullshit there is, you know what I mean? But my thing on what appealed to me in this video is like, well, how well, anyway, there's people say, "Oh, that's a conspiracy theory," and people that are far left, they think it was a conspiracy by the right, and they're getting political. They don't get it. I mean, whether you're on the political left or the right, if the people that reject anything like this or don't even give it a chance and listen to it before they judge it, there's a lot of people out there, right? And people turn up their noses. What this video was trying to say that nobody in any form of government, whether it's no matter what they give you, whether it's through government benefits and assistance or higher wages, it's all because it's never out of the goodness of their heart. You know what I mean? And anything, if you're, and he was indicating that so many different forms of slavery, right? You could say, well, he covered all different kind of models, political models. One of the two videos he outlined like the mafia model, which now you can have variations of the thug rule model, both black or white, without blaming it on any particular race, but all kind of different people have their groups that don't like the police and claim brutality, but yet they want to have a street style ruler run by Mr. King of the Streets can commit the same brutality, but the police do it to one of their people, they're allowed to brutalize, but if the police do it to one of their people, it's brutality, and do away with the police so that they can have Mr. King of the Streets have the run of things. That's completely okay. But he talked about how different methods of human farming, whether, I mean, you can even read between the line, whether it's people in Republican or Democratic governments, and how governments all other in many other parts of the world, just because it's a republic, just because it's democracy, doesn't make it any better at all. It's just he indicates that any single model, whether it's communism, socialism, whatever you want to call it, they're all human farming methods or approaches, and they're all a failure, and they all are to the advantage of the enforcing class. It's dependent on bribes for to actually keep whatever order you want to call it, whether it's like government type police rule or any other kind of rule that's all over the world. It depends, the rulers, if you will, it depends highly on bribing the enforcing class, soldiers, police, or whatever, gifts and handouts handed to them in the enforcing class and the propaganda class to even get anything done, put fear into the people. Or like our own United States government has a little bit of everything. Bribe the people, bribe voters, bribe people from every angle, bribe people to look the other way, or bribe people to vote this way, or but a lot of them are. He calls them human farming because it's nothing but. He will say, well, you're not looking at countries, you're looking at farms. Some different farmers with their different approaches, whether communism, socialism, democracy, whatever kind of democracy you want. It's like nothing but like basically human farming. Instead of countries, you're looking at farms. Some methods succeed for a while, for periods of time, and then die out. Other ones, and I don't know. One of the so many different philosophies within philosophies in it. That's why it appeals to me. You know what I mean? I mean, if you look at the one saying, the one statement he made with a picture of a horse, what's the sense of owning or capturing or breaking in a horse if the horse only produces enough to feed the horse? You know what I mean? There are some models of different kind of farming methods or political methods, if you will, or they give you anything not out of the goodness of their heart, because not out of the goodness of their heart, only because you'll become depressed and underproductive if they don't give you something. And he was indicating how even the Chinese kind of let, and the former Soviet Union even relaxed things a little bit because they knew they were making more money if people had a little bit of advantage freedoms. But who the hell knows what Russia's going to happen now? The old Soviet Union coming back, who the hell knows? But and like say, whether you have government police rule or the Mr. King of the Streets drug dealer pimp rule, those are all human farmers, and a lot of them engaging in human trafficking, which those farmers, they do token news stories about how different people are caught, but then they got the shit that's still going on because they bribe the police and bribe the politicians, which are just like fucking what the hell is his name, that Epstein, the guy that they're trying to say hung himself in prison, well, his human farming, his human trafficking at some level, under the guise of other things, he was allegedly bringing clients of his / friends that were actually his customers, some being celebrities and political figures, which people want the names of those people so badly, you know what I mean? But yeah, different types of human farming, and you can read between the lines the stuff in here that this guy never covered. It would be a long as. That's why it appeals to me, even without the video. It's a good platform to draw your own opinions. Which, yeah, go ahead and fucking call it a conspiracy theory. Some people never even heard either of the things and said anything. I mean, you gotta listen, give the things a listen to debunk it, or if anybody else that snubs the stuff, they're just afraid of seeing any truth. If it's really such a conspiracy theory, why can't they give it a listen and say do a video and debunk anything that they're saying, which tell me something that he says in this video that isn't true, you know what I mean? To a certain extent. I mean, yeah, and there's like a part where everybody is a sheep whether they want to be or not, you know what I mean? The late George Carlin says in one of his things about obedient workers, but he says, oh, everybody thinks they have a choice. They don't. Or limited at best, you know what I mean? But, I mean, it's interesting for, if you will, a lot of, what do you want to call it, like a type of, yeah, the word, what the fuck's that word that I'm actually looking for, like a model for a way of thinking, but, god damn it, yeah, a metaphor, yeah, metaphor, yeah. And I use that word all the time too. You know what I mean? But I didn't know whether I wanted to use the. I paused there. I didn't know whether I wanted to use the word metaphor because a lot of metaphors there. Um, read between the lines and talk in parentheses. Talk between the lines and in parentheses, like Henry Rollins once said in one of his talks. But I might have been rambling here, but it's worth a listen. But it's like a bunch of shit that like a lot of us are saying in our own way, compiled in a video. But yet there's a lot of stuff. I don't know about you, but there's a lot of stuff that you and me can add to it. You know what I mean? That become a metaphoric, a metaphor for a lot of human behaviors, if you will. Yeah, I'll have these long pauses because I got things running through my head. Like if I call something metaphor or call something else, I got this concern that I might ramble on and make a 9 hour long video and stuff that you can break it down and make separate. There's all kind of shit you can break down and make separate videos of it that are pretty long. So that's what I'm saying. But